Hey guys, it's Todd from Like-Minded Lunatics bringing you, yes, another drink, play, swear. It's all we do around here. I mean, with examples like Ferris Bueller and Dr. Peter Venkman from our childhoods, is it any wonder that it's all we want to do around here? Welcome back. While I'm thinking about it, please hit that subscribe button right there, bang, in the bottom right-hand corner. It's going to do two things for us here at Like-Minded Lunatics. One, it's going to show us how much bigger this family is getting every day, and that's very exciting for us. It spurs Mark Gifford and I on in our creation of content for you, but it's also eventually going to show YouTube that we are a big deal. Pretty big deal. I hope you're feeling like a big deal today. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. Welcome back to Drink, Play, Swear. Now, Like-Minded Lunatics is not just Drink, Play, Swear. There's a ton of stuff on the channel for you, no matter what you want. Lots of good stuff. My favorite on the channel, my buddy and writing partner's Friday night videos. The Friday night videos are just the best stuff. I mean, in my opinion, the best stuff on YouTube. Sorry, somebody's blowing me up here. Somebody's blowing me up on my phone right on camera. Well done, Todd. Way to not turn the phone off ahead of time. Anyway, Mark Gifford's doing the best stuff. The Friday night videos, just curated like a fine meat. Okay. All right. So welcome back to Drink, Play, Swear. What is Drink, Play, Swear? Well, if you're new to this area, or it's been a while, I'll remind you it's exactly what it sounds like. Play a game, sometimes a classic one. Today, it's not so classic. Pair it with a beverage, and I tell you a story. Today we're playing G.I. Joe, Operation Blackout, a pretty new game on the Switch, and it's a ton of fun. I played the first level the other day, and I thought, oh man, this is perfect for the channel, perfect for my like-minded lunatics. They're gonna like it too. Fun game. So a couple reasons why it's fun, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let me get this started, and you'll see the opening cinematic play behind me while I set up the story for today. But look at this. First of all, Cobra Commander is a playable character from level 1. Cobra. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like half of the reason I get excited about G.I. Joe, honestly, is Cobra Commander. Everyone knows Destro is pretty cool as well, but come on, Cobra Commander. G.I. Joe's got something for everybody, I think. It's fun, and this game is fun as well. Pairing today, this game with a beverage is a Jim Beam and Coke. Get yourself something. Let's kick back, play some G.I. Joe.
It's like Cobra's waiting for something. What are they up to?
Sir, we have incoming.
I love that G.I. Joe movie. I just rewatched it with my son, and the opening song is so good. It goes, Cobra, Cobra. And then behind that, it's like Cobra. And then someone's going, Cobra. My son can do the high part. I can't. But man, brings me back to childhood. And so this is a little nostalgia for me here, even though it's a new game. And I don't know how you feel about, listen. Cobra. Did you hear it? But I don't care for Duke. No, I'm not a Duke fan. Not the biggest Duke fan. Most of the Joes, I'm not a big fan of. I like the bad guys in this. I'm sorry. Yo, Joe. So I was thrilled because what's happening in this first level, not only are you Cobra Commander, but you're on the flag. Cobra. Do you remember the flag? So the flag, not only, it's an aircraft carrier that the Joes hang out on, but it was the biggest toy you'd ever seen. And I don't just mean, like popularity-wise. This thing was massive. I didn't know anyone with it. I didn't have it. It probably wouldn't have even fit in my living room growing up. And I didn't know anyone who had it. I was jealous over the television commercial. Mark, if you have that TV ad that I sent for you, if you could pull it up, just to get us in the mood for a little G.I. Joe, please.
Here it is, the USS Flag aircraft carrier. Imagine being on the deck of this aircraft carrier.
The USS Flag is fantastic! It's so big! Forward there! Launch station! Get ready to launch aircraft! Where's the Admiral? Not here! G.I. Joe! Fire! Restart Cobra! Joe! Joe!
USS Flag aircraft carrier comes with what you see here. Other figures and equipment sold separately.
Joe! Joe!
It's a good time. It's a good time. They did a good job on that commercial. For the 80s, that's pretty good. What is that, blue screen? I don't think green screen was a thing yet. Was it blue screen? How do they make those kids look like they were on the flag? But that play set was massive, wasn't it? All right. We're going to get into the game here. And yes, of course, I have a story for you today. I have to admit, this is going to be one of those stories I probably don't play for my kids. Most of the stories I tell here on Drink, Play, Swear, I don't mind sharing with my kids, part of who I am and part of who I was, because we are a collection of our experiences, whether they were, things that we are proud of or things that we regret. And I want them to know, especially as they get older, I want them to know the real me. But this one, at least for now, is like, nah, we'll skip that one. Today's story is about the time I got an MIPT, a minor in possession of tobacco. Did you know that was a thing? Well, it became a thing in the 90s when I was in high school because smoking cigarettes was very, very popular. And if you're growing up today and you're a young person, that might seem strange to you, whatever you guys have, e-cigarettes, vaping, I don't even want to know anything about it. I quit smoking years ago, and I don't need to be tempted with the newfangled things. It's just going to make me fall. It's going to make me fall back into it. And I'm happy now not being a smoker and not coughing and catching my breath all the time. But when I was 15, 16, 17, I definitely was smoking. I don't know how to explain why. We thought it was real cool, man. I thought I was looking like, James Dean or something. I thought I looked like a biker. I had biker boots. Had never been on a motorcycle in my life, kind of thing. But I was, I don't know. I was trying to be edgy. I don't know. And part of that was smoking cigarettes. So we had heard about this law. Minor in possession of tobacco had become a thing, and they were going to be cracking down on teens smoking. Because, see, the thing was, it was illegal to sell cigarettes. You remember I told that gas station memories story about us scoring smokes, right? It was illegal to sell to young people, but it wasn't illegal to possess at that early on. And so a cop could, ask you, give me those, you're not supposed to have them, but legally they couldn't ticket you for it, but they could ticket the seller of those products. So this law made it, dangerous for you to be doing it as the young person. So we'd heard about it, but I didn't know anyone who'd received a ticket. Well, one morning, hanging out outside of the high school one morning, we got ticketed, me and two of my buddies. We were standing out front of our friend's house. We had this good friend. She lived right across the street from the high school. And I was in marching band, and marching band was first period. So either before first period or after first period, before homeroom and second period, we would run across the street and go smoke a cigarette real quick at her house. And usually we hung out on her property, in her house or in the backyard. I don't know why on this one morning we were hanging out front, but it was like a sting operation or something. We're sitting out there smoking cigarettes, and all of a sudden this cop comes around the corner like he'd been planted there, and he just, hey, whip, that was the Looney Tunes sound. I didn't mean to do that. Wrong sound. Let me recalibrate my brain. It was just that little quick chirp. Hey, whip, the cops do sometimes. Sorry, terrible chirp. Hey, whip. I'll work on it, okay? Hey, whip. I'm always working on myself, not the psychological things that I really need to be working on. Goofy sounds, I'll work on that all day. Hey, whip, hey, whip, hey, whip, hey, whip, hey, whip. All day, okay. So, cop jumps out of the car, and everyone who's smoking quickly flicks the cigarette. Cop goes, all right, boys, I see 2 cigarettes, 3 boys and 2 cigarettes. I need all 3 of your IDs because I can't tell which one of you was smoking.
I'll hold the deck.
Well, none of us were 18, so we all got MIPTs. And we were doing everything you try to do. Oh, sorry, officer, my ID's in my truck. If I can run out and go get it real quick, that'd be great. And then you were gonna, ditch your smokes or whatever. Didn't work, of course, because he's come across a million annoying teenage boys, and we were only 3 of them. But it was early on in the minor in possession of tobacco. Isn't this cool? The turrets and everything. This is a fun game. It's varied in what you do. There's some driving levels. It's a cool game. Oh, I fell off the thing. So because it was like a new kind of ticket, it was getting a lot of press. And so we were actually featured in the newspaper. I don't have a copy of it, but one of the guys who I got in trouble with had it. And it was great. It was just a tiny little article, not front page material or anything. It was a tiny little article, and the headline is what's so great. The headline read, 3 bad kids, 1 bad habit. And it was a discussion of the minor in possession of tobacco, ticketing and how they were going to enforce it. Here we go. Let's do one more turret here. And so it was a drag. Funny thing was, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember that I was 17 when that happened. And the legal age for cigarettes at that time was 18. Well, it was a $250 fine, which was quite expensive. Thankfully, because I was 17 in Texas, I was allowed to represent myself, and so I didn't have to bring my parents along for that. But my 2 buddies, the other 2 guys, were 16, and they had to bring their parents along, when their parents were very upset about that. So, but I was 17, and in fact, they forced you to take a tobacco awareness class. In addition to the fine. And a tobacco awareness class was on Saturdays, which is a bummer. And you had to show up and learn all about smoking. And the guy, it was sort of like a mini AA. Like the thing was you're to share stories about why you smoke and what your plans are to quit. And you would fill out these quit sheets that would say how much you typically smoke and what your plan is to smoke less and less. And this guy who was running the class, I'm going to call him a burnout hippie dude, And he was like, no, I get it, boys. I smoked in my day too, trying to be cool or our friend or something. And then the big reveal, he shows us his best friend's x-ray of his lungs, terrible cancer-ridden lungs and everything, and it's supposed to scare us.
I never thought
Look at this. We're going to wrap on this today because this is awesome. I never liked Duke. You get to take on Duke here. Let's see how I do against him. I save my grenades for my Duke encounter. Let's see if I can get him a couple times. Yeah, there we go. Look, he's a coward too. I actually did pretty good on that one. It's not always that fast, but he runs off. It's a fun level. You should really play the game. He runs off down in there, and then you take over a flag, and Cobra Commander takes over the world. You're in the White House, and it's got Cobra banners. And in the second level, then you're Joe, and you're trying to stop it. Anyway, it's a fun game. I'm excited I was able to show you at least me taking out Duke a little bit. But I'll wrap this story up today. So the funny thing was, even though this guy, and now I feel terrible because, of course, I was an annoying teenage boy, one of millions that have existed, and I wasn't taking the course seriously, and I was going to make it clear that I didn't care about it, and I was only going because it was, court mandated, and I wasn't going to take it seriously, because it was very clear from the first session that if you showed up, you passed, you got a certificate, and you were done. So I was definitely not going to do homework for this guy or plan a quit sheet. In fact, I started taking the class. I'd already turned 18. So I was like, no, I was a minor so I was just not filling out the forms. Just put my name at the top and handed in blank, The guy's like, son, could you try to get something out of this? I'm like, I don't need to get anything out of this. I'm 18. Awful. He was just trying to help. But you know what? I remember as a kid, one of my best friends who was like me as a teenager, always fighting with his parents, right? And just going back and forth. And it was about stuff like this. It was like getting in trouble in school or breaking the law, even if it was in a minor way. Your parents concerned. And I remember my buddy talking to me about one encounter he had with his mom. And they were just one of those encounters. I don't know if you had them with your parents growing up, but you're just so upset with each other. You're yelling back and forth. Both of you are crying. You know, you're so upset. And his mom looked up at him, and he said he remembered he was in a very defensive mode. He was trying to sort of, you know, attack her, and oh, she must be so perfect. Mom, you must be so perfect, right? You never did anything wrong. She looks up at him. Excuse me. She looks up at him and she's like, "Why are you so mad?" And he yelled back at her, "I don't know," and stormed off. And like that, in a nutshell, to me, reminds me of being a teenager. Is I was mad and I had no idea really why. Boy, grateful to be past those years, to be honest with you, and grateful to be done with the MIPT whole situation. So we'll wrap this up. Thanks for being with us here at Like Minded Lunatics and Drink Play Swear, the MIPT story, and a little G.I. Joe action. In between now and the next time I talk to you, I'm Todd. See ya.